on to bring you this important message.
Yo, it's Remember the Show. Slick with the flows, where the sparring can go. Who's gonna be on, man, you never will know. Guess you better tune in, cause we live from Chicago. Belal Muhammad, that's the king of the tweets. Jason Anik looks like John, step his hands to his feet. Every Thursday, we gon' give you a treat. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat. And retweet, and retweet, and retweet. And retweet, it's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat.
What is up? It is Remember the Show. Welcome to episode 42. Jason Anik and the future welterweight champion, Belal, remember the name, Muhammad. Hey, happy International Podcast Day, bully. How about that? Fitting on a Thursday, right? Today's International Podcast Day. Now,
really?
I know we're not a podcast, we're a show, but happy International Podcast Day.
Oh, that's pretty cool. We're pulling the Ariel Hawaii thing, trying to figure out them random weird days.
I know. Chris Long, shout out, former NFL star Chris Long. I saw that on his Twitter feed. I figured good shout out. You know, he has his own little podcast out. Right,
we'll take time for our podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So, dude, these guests tonight, for those of you who don't know, a couple of Georgian killers, man. Merab Dvalishvili, Giga Chikadze, man. Nice work getting these two.
Yeah, I was like, man, these guys are two of the hottest guys in the divisions right now. And they're both good characters. They both got like good energy, know how to talk and stuff like that. So it's going to be a fun show. And they're both from Georgia. I'm like, one of their streaks have to end tonight.
Well, right. Well, I was going to say, forget the Remember the Show competition. Which one of these is going to be the first champion from Georgia? You know, they're both getting there, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like they're both those guys in the division that are the toughest matchups for everyone in the division. Like Giga, his striking is showing that it's next level compared to a lot of these guys. He beat Barbosa, who's literally one of the most fearsome guys in there with striking. And then you got Merab, who's literally just a tank. That fight against Marais was just nuts. It just showed that how good this kid is and how much of a dangerous weapon cardio is. Because, you know, you get rocked and you still keep pushing through. He never stopped moving. And after that, Marais just couldn't move. Like Marais was done after that. He couldn't. When you're hitting a guy with everything you got and this guy's still standing in front of you and you're like, what the heck do I have to do now?
Dude, so let's just begin there. UFC 266. We just go right there with Merab. What just blows my mind is like Marlon Moraes almost won his fight. Brian Ortega almost won his fight, or at least had moment. It's just unbelievable to me watching these moments. And so for Marlon, right? It's interesting when I see Merab sort of like run away and sort of like give himself some time after he's sort of taken that beating. And then just everything changes. I just still can't believe Merab, the flip in that round. Who won round one, bully? There was a little banter on Anik. Who won round one?
That was crazy. You know, I mean, you're giving Merab the end of the round, but like Moraes literally dropped him, I think, 3 times.
Right.
So I wouldn't give it a 10-8, but I'll give it a 10-9 Moraes.
Yeah, I hear you. Just that fight, just insane. And for Merab, you know, to jump from 11 to 6. I know he said he'd never fight Aljo. That's a different conversation, obviously, with Aljo now out in Sandhagen fighting Jan. But just unbelievable, a guy like Merab. And it wasn't that it was just 15 takedowns over and over. His striking's improving. And like you say, the cardio, it's just unbelievable. I thought he was going out. If you want to know the truth, I thought it was it.
Yeah, and I mean, he has that style that's the hardest style of the fight. A guy with just endless gas tank, and he was going to shoot on you 25 times. And like he rocked Moraes in the second round, I think, with that overhand right, because you're thinking about is getting taken down against a guy like Merab. Then all of a sudden he throws a big overhand right. You get caught. And he's one of those guys who's still kind of young in his career, so he's getting better every single fight. So when his stand-up starts matching his wrestling, and then his gas tank's already there, you know, I put him with that same kind of style like a Kobe Covington, where you can just throw high volume on you. And people are like, oh, well, he has no power. He's not a finisher. But if your gas tank is on E and his gas tank is still full, that's the worst spot to be in. And that's what showed Moraes, who fought for the title. I mean, he's taken some tough losses. And I feel bad for a guy like that because, like you said, it could have switched. It was, you know, he wins that fight. It's like you knock out Merab and you're like, you just knocked out this guy in a huge streak and you're back. Moraes is back. That's all you need was that big win. But now it's like you lose that fight, man. Moraes needs to retire. He wasn't good for this. Same thing with Ortega, where I'm hearing people say now Ortega needs to go up to 55. But I'm like, there's differences with the Ortega. Ortega literally lost the two best guys in the division against Holloway and Volkanovski. And Volkanovski, like, he was this close to winning that fight. For me, I think Ortega just needs a change of camp, a change of scenery, a different mind in his camp to tell him, grapple more. You're a great grappler. You don't have to bang with everybody. I know you're tough. You're from LA. You know, you could take a punch. You're not afraid to throw a punch, but your grappling is next level. You finish a lot of guys with grappling. So why not throw a couple takedowns in there early? I don't care if it's, you know, if you end up shooting and then he sprawls on you, you end up on your back. You're not bad there anyway. You're comfortable there. We saw in the third round, even rocked, you almost got a triangle. So why not do that stuff early?
I hear shoot early, no sweat, you know, or limited, you know, a little less greasy, but that whole fight just blows my mind. So I just have to, so at the end of round 3, when Ortega's on the canvas after, you know, almost submitting dude twice, but so he's laying on the canvas, right? And I'm wondering if he's going to get up, you know what I mean? And his coaches go over to drag him up. And then whatever happened in the corner, all that back and forth, asking him questions, not getting the answer, all the delays in time. But I don't know if I've ever seen, and I'm sure I have a fighter laying on the canvas. Like, I'm not saying he wouldn't have gotten up, but I'm honestly wondering. I mean, he was there for several seconds before his coaches had to go get him back up. And then he wins round 5. I mean, that might have been the most entertaining fight. I'm not saying best fight, the most entertaining fight I've ever seen. I mean, try going to sleep after that. Not a chance.
Yeah, that was nuts. And it was like, you know, the third round, you got your best move on him. That's where you want to get him. You had the tightest guillotine, a mounted guillotine. He squeezes a way out, and then all of a sudden you get the tightest triangle. That's your move. They call you freaking T-City, and you couldn't finish the triangle. And I can just understand where he's at, because you know what happens to me in practice, where you're trying to finish the guy, and then you get the tight choke, and all of a sudden the butt rings like, fudge, and you're tired. So I can't even imagine him in that cage, the third round. You already went through a war in the first 3 rounds, and you had your tightest submissions. Those are your best moves. He gets out, and it's like, what the heck do I do now? Like, my arms are dead and my legs are dead from those tight chokes. And the fact that he got up, he went to the 5th round and won the 5th round. He had like a second win in that 5th round. It just showed you how much heart this guy got and how much fight he still has in him. And for all those people saying that he needs to move up, he doesn't need to move up.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
This guy could still be a champion. He's still young, 30 years old. There's not much. I know you're saying, he's taking all this damage, yada, yada, yada. But after that Holloway fight, he took 2 years off. He's not like he's sitting there trying to get right back in there right away.
Well, I agree. And even like a guy like Sandhagen, who, he lost to TJ, whether you think he lost or not, is like, you know, TJ's still right where he needs to be. You know what I mean? Certainly now he has a title shot, but you know what I mean? I think Ortega's right where he needs to be. And I think he showed impressively. To me, I just still can't believe that. I mean, when Volkanovski was trying to get out of these, I mean, he looks like he's drowning. I'm just blown away, man. I don't have words.
Volkanovski just showed how much of a champion he is. You know, he was working with Craig Jones, who's one of the best just guys in the world, but it just shows that, like, he's not giving up that belt easily at all. Like, that 20-0 that he's his 20-fight winning streak that he's on right now is not by mistake or accident. This guy's one of the best in the world.
100%.
So I wanted to come on and just say, like, T-City gets him in the triangle. Volk gets out of the triangle. You kind of get a downgrade from T-City, right? Like T municipality, like T township or something. Like, he's got to earn his way back to T-City.
Back up to T-City.
He's like, right now he can't get into T-City.
Good stuff. You're pretty funny, Cody. Even when you chop in on Anik and Florian, you got some humor there, man. You know, if Zeke Rambler's not available for comedy on Remember the Show, we'll get a
I'm
Cody
not taking my shirt off.
So, dude, that fight, we could go on all day, but I want to just get to Valentina Shevchenko. She's such a gifted athlete. She's in just a class of her own. I know Amanda Nunes has Juliana Pena coming up. I know Kayla Harrison is not in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And once again, no disrespect to Lauren Murphy, but who's there to fight Valentina? She's so gifted. She's so incredible to watch.
Yeah, she just shows every fight that she's getting better every single fight, and that there's not a lot of girls on her level or that are going to be anywhere near. Like, the only girl that's on her level is Amanda Nunes. And I know I heard on the Bisbing podcast where he was like, Amanda Nunes needs to come down to 130. Shevchenko needs to go up 5 pounds to fight 130. But I'm like, Amanda Nunes doesn't even like going down to 135. So she's not going to come down. I think it's one of those things where she's just going to keep winning until you find that next girl. That girl has to be coming up soon. I was excited to see Tatiana Suarez. She was that girl. I felt like her style is great for a fight like Valentina, where she has that great wrestling, hard wrestling. When she comes back from injury, maybe it'll come from there. I know that they wanted to they were hoping that Andrade would lose that fight, but Jessica Andrade looked great that fight, knocked her out, and then it just shows if she knocked her out, it shows how good that Shevchenko is, because Shevchenko just played with Andrade at any level, and it's like, I mean, if Valentina can sit there and just keep finishing these girls, it's going to build her up to, like, the Ronda Rousey status of being the GOAT. And then maybe a couple of years down the line, we'll find that next girl. That next girl will show herself, and we'll have a real contender, hopefully.
I hear you, because it's I watch her, and I'm just in, even like some of the moves, the dance moves she does. She is just, everything she does is magic for me. So I got to be honest, the Lawler Diaz for me was kind of like, I know Diaz brings a different type of electricity. I love Robbie Lawler, so I'm happy to see him get a win. But full disclosure, that fight, didn't do too much for me. I think it might have been a little more interesting at 170 for me. Go ahead.
I was excited actually about for the first round, because you're sitting there wondering which Nick Diaz is going to show up. And I know that weird kick, I posted it on my Instagram, like that weird kick, it was like, people are saying it's crazy, it's dumb, what was he doing? But like I said, I think it was one of those where being off for 5 years, instead of getting used to the cage, circling around, trying to have that time to breathe a little bit, get used to putting your feet on the ground, Robbie Lawler is not going to give you that shot. Robbie Lawler sprints out every single fight, comes at you right away, and starts throwing bombs in that first minute. So you're not going to have that chance to breathe, get acclimated to being in the cage again. And Nick Diaz, I feel like he knew that, so he tried to do something crazy. He went out there, jumping spinning kick, and it just gets you in the zone a little bit. Usually when I fight, I try to come out right away and at least touch you, because I know if I touch you, I know that I'm in the fight. So it gets my body knowing that. Sometimes when I come out and I'm sitting there trying to side shuffle, go this way, go that way, I start a lot slower. But I know when I come out, I'm in your face right away and I'm touching you, my body knows it's in a fight. Nick Diaz, I think that he just messed up because he just had way too much output in that first round. 5 years off, you're so used to being that guy that everybody's saying you're the cardio king, you're this, you're that. Everybody wants to see which Nick Diaz is going to show up. So you had to show that you're still that same guy. And I think that he did that in the first round with his boxing, but he threw probably like over 100 punches in that first round. And if you haven't thrown those punches in a while, you haven't been in the cage with fans, all that adrenaline, the adrenaline dump, all the other anxiety and everything that comes with fighting. I think he just had a dump in the second round. I think that he just got tired, and Robbie Lawler didn't take a step back at all. Robbie Lawler was in his face the whole time, throwing hard body shots, hard body kicks. And it was one of those where I think Nick did the smart move by, pulling out, like, all right, this is not my night. Yep. I'm tapped out. But I think he still has fight in him. I think that if he comes back, he gets to feel for it again. He gets his toes wet, his feet wet again. If he comes back at 170, he'll do that extra running, do that extra cardio that you usually need when you do cut the weight. And I think that's one of the biggest things that, like, when McGregor stays up at 170, 155 when he fights Diaz, he gets way more tired because, you can cheat. You be like, I don't have to do that extra run because I don't have to cut the extra weight. If I'm doing that 185, I don't have to do that 4 or 5 mile run. I don't have to swim. I don't have to do this other extra work. And that's what makes you lazy.
Affects the cardio too, ultimately, I would think. So just got to shout out a couple. So many. Dan Hooker, which we haven't got into, dude, fight on UFC 266, now fighting on UFC 267, but a couple of heavyweights, Curtis Blades, Chris Daukaus. The heavyweight division used to be barren, and it's not, man. Chris Daukaus looks legit, and Curtis Blades, getting through Rosenstrike is no easy task.
Yeah, both of those guys, it showed. And Daukaus stepping up right back up again in December, fighting Black Beast.
Yep.
So that's going to be a great fight. That's a huge step up. But he called out these big names. He wants to show that in the heavyweight division, it doesn't really take much. You don't need a huge streak. All it takes is 2 to 3 fights, showing that you're willing to fight the best guys, willing to step up, and a guy that knows how to talk. Because who do you got at the top? You got Curtis Blades, you got Francis Ngannou, and you got Cyril Gane. And then everybody else is like repeat guys. So if you're that new young up and comer, like you have Aspinall who wants to take the slow road to the top. I want to take the slow road. I want to go up the ladder inch by inch. But then you got Daukaus like, yo, give me Stipe, give me this guy, give me that guy. I'm excited to see this guy. And I think Black Beast is a perfect test for him because they're going to go out there and bang.
Speaking of tests, I know we have no breaking news about a test for Belal Muhammad in the welterweight division once again, right? And it's October 1st tomorrow, right? So
yeah, I went down to Vegas for International Fight Week. It's fun. I got some good training in with a couple of good guys. I was training with Eric Anders. I got to train with Corey Sandhagen, who's a monster.
Nice.
And exciting. We got literally light sparring in. So I was excited to see that he got to fight against Peter Yan because I was just going with him. I was like, man, this guy is so good. And I was learning so much from him And then all of a sudden he gets the title fight right next. So I'm like, it's perfect that he stayed active. And guys like that can take those short notice fights because we trained 3 days that we were there. And it was not like one of those where, I'm on vacation. I'm in Vegas. I don't want to do this. I want to take the night off or the morning off. This guy was training. And he had nothing in the books. And he was like, yeah, I don't know. I was asking, do you have any fights? He's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe next year or something like that. But he just one of those guys you could just tell loves fighting, loves training. And now he gets the title shot.
Love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first guest tonight to Remember the Show. As far as he's concerned, he's the best featherweight in the world, and I might agree with him. He's getting close to having a chance to prove it. 7-0 in the UFC. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the UFC's 8th-ranked featherweight, Giga Chikadze. What is up, man?
What's up, Jason? How are you guys
Good to
doing?
meet you, man.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Nice to meet you. Good. All good. Chilling here, making cutting, waiting Merab to join us, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he should be coming soon. But question, I wanted to talk. I saw that you saw how Hooker was able to step in and fight Islam Makhachev. And I know that you said that you're going to wait and see if Holloway and Yair falls through. And knowing that fight, knowing Yair, one of those guys that's been pulling out a lot, are you one of those guys going to stay in shape right now, try to get in a fight camp, and just train for Holloway right now?
Sure, man. I'm always ready. I want somebody from top 5. Definitely, Yair would be the amazing fight for fans. Same with Max, and I would not say no to Champion either. He's a true martial artist. I saw he looked incredible in his last fight, and since everybody's scheduled and fighting each other, I know the champ wants to be busy, so. Why not me? November, December, January, whenever he wants.
I love it. Well, I was going to ask you if you want the winner of Yair Holloway or you just want the champ, because I figured you might say that. You had to enjoy watching that fight Saturday night, huh?
Absolutely. I was there. I was attending the show, and I saw how everything went. Man, these 2 guys were definitely the top 5 guys of the division. Just amazing fight. Like what Volk showed, his level change and southpaw to orthodox game. He's amazing. He's definitely a champ. But even Brian, he got. I thought he was done, and then suddenly I saw his submission a couple of times, the triangle, the guillotine. It was a great fight. I enjoyed to watch it.
Absolutely. Well, so I think we got your boy now. He's now the 6th-ranked bantamweight, moving up 5 spots. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 days removed from an amazing victory over Marlon Moraes, Merab Dvalishvili. Welcome to Remember the Show.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good. How you doing, brother?
What's up?
I'm doing great.
Dude, I don't
Great
look like you
man.
have any scratches on your face or anything. Yeah, no injuries from the fight?
Yeah, really, I don't have nothing. Yeah, I'm good. Good to see you guys. All you guys. Happy to see you guys.
We're happy to see you, brother.
Thank you.
Well, since we got both of you guys here, we're going to start the game show for you guys, okay?
Let's
I
do
don't
it.
like
Let's
it.
do it.
All right, boys. So it's pretty easy, right? If you know the answer, shout bully, right? Shout bully for the buzzer. You'll see the questions. If the answer's wrong, points go to your opponent. If the answer's right, you get the opponent. Most points win. Please shout bully when you know the answer. Good luck, boys.
Cool.
All right. Not sure if you guys watched this before, but this is a game show style podcast. So the categories for today are last fight. So these are fighters that haven't fought in a while, but you have to tell me who their last fight was against.
Cool.
2, this is the funny ones. So these are guy fighters with girl filters. You got to tell me who the guy fighter is.
Okay.
3, this is 2 fighter faces together. You got to tell me which 2 fighters the guy is, okay? And then the last one is nickname. You got to tell me the fight which fighter has this nickname.
Perfect.
You
Let's
got
go.
it?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
All right, you were here first, Giga, so you get to pick the first category.
Oh, cool. Let's do a nickname.
Nickname. Nickname is a game for 100. Whose fighter nickname is Raging? If you know the answer, bully.
Raging. Damn.
Come on, Merab.
I know. It's Alaya Quinta.
There you go.
There you go. That's how
There you go.
you got to say it, Merab.
Yeah, I gotta say. Sorry, Giga. Sorry.
That's okay. So Merab, if you know the answer, just say bully, and then we'll go to you.
Okay.
Okay, Merab, you get the points, and you get to say you get to pick next category.
Okay, let's do. Who is she or maybe he?
Who is she or maybe he? So this is a guy fighter. Tell me who this guy is.
It's he. Bully.
It's a he. It's a he.
Giga.
It's
Yeah.
Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
Boom. There we go.
It is.
Okay, now we're getting it. Now we're getting smoother with it. All right, Giga, you pick again.
Boom. Who is she or maybe he? I like that one. Oh, he. Bully.
Aljamain Sterling. Bully.
Giga again.
That's Aljamain for sure. Yeah.
All right, remember, Merab, if you know the answer, just say bully.
Okay.
Okay, Giga gets the points. Giga, you pick again.
Same thing. Who is she or maybe he?
This is the hard one.
Bully.
Giga.
It's he fights this weekend, right? What's the name? It's him.
Who?
Do I need to say the name or just he?
Yeah, you gotta say the name.
Damn. Thiago or Santos?
Yes.
Got it. There we go.
Yeah.
Atta boy.
Come on, Merab, wake up.
Okay.
You're up, Giga.
Same thing. Let's finish it.
Last points.
Bully.
Giga.
This guy is Johnny Walker is the nickname.
Dang, how did I do that? Giga's good. Okay. Giga, you pick another category.
Boom! It was quick, man. What's up, Merab, with you? Last fight. Let's do last fight.
Last fight. Who is Yair Rodriguez's last fight?
Bully.
Giga.
Definitely, I know that. He fought last time to Jeremy Stevens.
Jeremy Stevens.
Ah, Giga got it. 2019, 2 years since he fought.
Yeah, it's been 2
He
years,
definitely
and
did.
then, bro. Yeah. Let's do last fight again.
Uriah Faber.
I know. Bully.
Merab.
His opponent was Peter Yan.
There we go. Okay, Merab,
Attaboy,
back in
Merab.
it. Merab, now you pick.
So let's do same last fight.
Last fight again. John Jones.
Bully.
Merab.
Las Vegas PD.
Yeah.
You're just calling bully, huh?
Come on, you're choking, Merab.
What's? Oh man. Reyes. Dominic Reyes.
You get it. Okay, Merab, making a comeback.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're up again, Merab.
The same. Last name.
Ally Quita.
Bully.
Merab.
I don't know that.
Hooker. Hooker. What's his name?
Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
Okay, Merab, making a comeback.
Okay.
He's only 100
Yeah,
points.
he's
Come
good
on,
in
Giga, you
comebacks.
lost that category.
Let's do a nickname.
Nickname. Benny. Giga.
Benil Dariush.
Boom. There we go.
Oh.
Okay. You pick, Giga.
What is a face mesh again?
This is two fighter faces together. So two fighters.
Oh. Okay, let's do face mesh.
This is it.
Bully.
Merab.
It's Corey Sandhagen, Peter Yan.
Dude, that was a good
Oh, I was just
one.
asking a question. What was the name for it?
Oh, man, this is close. You're up, Merab.
Yeah, let's do same face match. Face match.
So 2 fighters.
Put,
Giga.
Islam and then Hooker.
yeah.
Oh, that looked like a good person. Giga, you're up.
Okay, let's do face match again.
Bully.
Bully.
Merab.
Okay, I know one for sure. Was okay.
You're blowing it, Merab.
Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, Giga, go ahead. I know, but just name. Of course.
What's up?
You say.
Come on, Merab.
Come on, Merab. You can do it.
Oh, bro, I forgot he's just for 2 weeks ago, and then second one is
Do you know Giga?
Definitely.
yeah.
If you know the answer, Giga, you can say you can steal it.
Okay, I know one is Israel Adesanya and another guy is Derek Brunson. Or
No, come on, Merab. You blew that one.
I know.
come on, Merab, you got this.
Still a
Just
game, still a
little
game.
one.
You're up, Giga. Still close.
All right, let's do same face match.
This is a big one.
Oh, the bully.
Giga.
It's Borachinia and my boy Vettori. That guy.
Well, there's no way of catching up. I'm sorry, Merab.
It's all
It was a
good.
finish. My man Giga, you win again. You're the champion. How does it feel?
Happy for you, brother.
Thank you. That was a fun, definitely. I
Like,
want to
you-
challenge some other Georgians too in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you win belt first, and I'll be after a couple of years later. No problem.
Let's do again rematch next time.
I'm gonna give you Giga. I'm gonna give you Ali. Ali beat Gilbert Burns in this, so Ali's been talking trash. So I want to get you back against
Oh.
Ali.
Oh shit, let's do it. I want to beat him.
But we got you guys
Hey.
here for a couple more questions. If you got anything for them, Jason.
So Merab,
Yes.
dude, you made so many of us so happy Saturday night. Us fans of yours, you have such an extended family of fans, you know, and it had to be nice. I know Aljo's the champion, but his last loss was against Marlon. You had to have some satisfaction beating Marlon after him beating your boy Aljo. Yes.
Yes and no. Yes, because I know Aljo. Aljo is much better fighter, and then I mean I think Marlon got lucky. I mean not lucky, but he's dangerous, of course. But you know I know for sure if Aljo fought him like 10 times, Aljo will be 10 times winner. But that was Marlon's chance to win this way, like knockout, like accident knockout, and he got this. So, but second, I'm a professional, and the fight wasn't anything personal, and I just take as he's professional. I have big respect for him, and he's a good family man. I see he has a family, and I have all the respect, man. He's a good fighter, but you know this is what kind of business we are. We are fighters, and you know when we cross each other, we gotta fight each other, and all the respect to him. And then I was mad about him when he knocked out Aljo and he was talking trash, and I was mad. But now, like when they give me fight with him, no, I was looking like a professional, you know. I said, yeah.
Attaboy.
Well, both of you guys are the same type of guys that nobody wants to fight. You guys are like the guys in the division that people are shying away from. They look at it like, I'll look for a better matchup. We know Giga knows how to talk. Giga's tweeting out, talking trash to everybody. Merab, do you think you have to do the same thing? You have to be the mouth right now on Twitter? Do you think you need to start talking trash too?
If I have to, yeah. If I need, and if I'm mad with somebody, yeah, I will talk trash with like, bad guys.
Bro, in Georgia, we know how to trash. So we just don't know how to translate in English well. But when we talk trash, that's intense. You know, they cannot keep up with us.
Yeah, we are cursing. But
No, literally, like after when you went on the mic and you were calling them out, I was like, That was like perfect lines. I was like, Giga, did you write that, or did you know what you're gonna say before the fight, or you're like, I need to
Not at
translate this
all.
first. I want to say this in English.
Not at all, honestly. It just came out. I don't know how, but I clearly remember he said that Giga guy who kicks or whatever, and I just didn't like it, and it just came out.
You're one of those guys that watches their interviews and like other fighters' interviews and things like that? I know you came at Joe Ban because he picked against you that fight. So like, are you like that guy that watches everything?
Yeah, I try.
Yeah, you pay attention to everything, right?
Yeah, I try. Yeah, I try to be. If not
well,
me,
we see that you pay attention. You just won the game show, so you know everything.
I don't know if I know everything, but I know a little bit.
Well, I mean, what Merab is good in is wrestling. What people think is your weakness is your grappling. Like, you guys train together? Yeah, you guys been together or connected with everything? They think that you're striking with Merab's wrestling. It'll be a dominant force.
No,
yeah, that would be such a great switch. Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, we could training, but that's crazy. We never training together. Yeah, but I'm going to visit Giga and then training with him.
So Merab, it had to be amazing for you to bring your boys to Georgia, and that was incredible to see you guys there. Were you guys training pretty hard, I assume, that whole time, huh?
Yeah, we did actually. We went couple gym, we visited couple gym, and we was showing like the master class, like a show technique, and at the same time we was training hard too. That was good experience. Really, we make them lots of people happy, and that was really good. And yeah, we was training hard too. Yeah, like we went six gym. We went like couple small gyms, but that was a good time.
Giga, we saw when you went back home after your fight, all the people that were out there. Is it huge in Georgia right now? Like, everybody loves watching you guys. Is it like a big community over there?
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, when I got there, like, I got a bunch of people meeting me in airport. It was like a dream, like Merab will understand that when we grow up in Georgia, like, when a soccer team or wrestlers or judo fighters, they would win the Olympics or some big tournaments, like whole the country would go and meet them in airport. And that would be like my dream since I was a kid. When I competed karate, kickboxing, I won world championship there. When I went back to Georgia that moment, nobody really cared. Like, who's this kid? They would not know me. But this time when I arrived there, all the fun started from there. Like, all the escort was driving with me, and yeah, man, like, Georgia's been a warrior country since centuries and centuries ago, and now, like, it's in our blood, the fighting, and now everybody trains MMA. Everyone knows more than, honestly, me. If you invite them in your show, they would kill everybody.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing that we're getting a lot more Georgian fighters in the UFC. Like, you're thinking about, like, oh, everybody's talking about Africa when you're seeing Usman, Francis, and everybody. And I'm looking at, like, man, Georgia has a lot of you guys in the UFC right now too.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, Dagestan, Chechnya, all these parts are so good, and they've been MMA fighters, like, well known through Khabib and all those guys from North Caucasus. But this mountain has the south part as well. They are North Caucasus, and we are on the same mountain, but other side, Nobody really talked before about us, but finally we're making our name, and you guys gonna see so many more Georgian fighters, so many good fighters. Like, just we need a little more time to recognize them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Jason?
So, Giga, are you gonna when would you like to get back in there? I know some things have to play out in the division. I assume it probably won't be this year, or you never know.
I never know, man. Honestly, I would love to fight October, November, December. Every month I want to fight. I come from karate and kickboxing backgrounds, and we used to fight every single month. And people say that I'm a workaholic. I'm a fightaholic. I wanna be busy every single month. But whatever happens, I know they have a lot of good plans about me. I had the conversation and meeting with Dana this Monday. I'm really happy to see the energy and the intention from them, what's coming about me, and we'll see what happens.
I love it. And
Let's go.
Merab, just to go to you, I mean, there's a big difference in number 11 and number 6 in this division. You know what I mean? Your next fight is going to be huge.
Right, yeah, man. I'm ready.
I know
Whoever,
you.
yeah, I'm just ready. Yeah, I'm just enjoying every fight step by step, and yeah, that was my fourth tough guy, like, from top 10, top 15 opponent, and then I'm just happy to win every fight. UFC, every fight is big, and doesn't matter. Right now, I'm just enjoying. My friend, my friend Aljo, he's champion, and I just wanna watch how he's gonna win against belt and defend and whatever. I just wanna keep winning my fights, and well, I'm ready. If UFC wants me book like soon or late, I'm just enjoying training or fighting.
Love it.
Well, thank you both for coming on. I appreciate both of you guys. Giga, congrats again. Merab, congrats on your fight. Sorry about today. It was a bad showing, but you'll be back.
Yeah, that's why I don't like games, but I'm happy. I lost against Giga. It's no
That's
problem.
all right. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good one, brother.
Have a good night.
Was a great playing with you guys. Bye.
Awesome, man. Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's going to be really exciting to see both their next fight. I mean, they're both legit. I mean, if they both get someone in the top 5, they both could be an underdog, and they're both going to be a live underdog. You could be sure.
Yeah, like I said, they're those guys in the division that nobody wants to fight, and everybody wants to play that off like, oh, well, they're trash. They're not that good. They're not this. They're not that. But they're winning all their fights. They're beating everybody. Merab honestly should be undefeated in the UFC right now. And like I said, his style is just crazy. And it sucks that, his best friend, training partner is the champion right now. But I think it's one of those things where Merab's just going to keep winning, keep knocking other contenders off.
And it'll just play out how it needs to. I love the way he handled that question too. It's like everyone speaks so highly of him. He's the man. Go ahead, Cody.
I had to have an opinion there. The champion Aljamain Sterling is a man who I produce this podcast for. It just makes you wonder, how can people on MMA Twitter are, the most intelligent beings that are on the face of this earth. And they give Merab all this credit. Merab's a warrior. Amazing. Who can beat Merab? Like, Merab's so good. Aljamain is his main sparring partner and vice versa. So like you think Aljo gets his ass kicked by Merab every single time? Like, the denigration of Aljo kind of gets lost in the praise of Merab, I think. And it was not nice, I guess, to see Aljo at least get a little respect, I guess. So we could move into, I guess, that topic. I didn't mean to jump off there for you guys, but what did you guys think about how quickly, I guess, that interim title came together, Sandhagen and Jan, as far as Aljo, wanted to fight. He tried to take the fight. The doctors wouldn't clear him. So 30 days, we get a new title fight.
Belal?
Yeah, I mean, I figured they would. I mean, when a champion's out, especially at this day and age, they did it to Francis Ngannou. If they do it to the freaking baddest man on the planet, they're going to do it to a bantamweight. And it was just one of those, I think we're just in a day and age now where every pay-per-view needs a couple title fights on there. And for me, it's more so that, I mean, obviously, Aljo, he's still going to get the next guy, whoever wins this fight. But it's just such a great fight anyway. Like, it doesn't honestly even need a title on the line for me to buy this fight. Peter Yan against Sandhagen. That's the striking in that fight is just going to be amazing. The grappling is going to be great. It's just going to be cool to see. The interim title really doesn't mean anything to me when they put that stamp on there. I know it's the UFC; they have to sell it, but I'm just excited to see how it happens.
Me too. And I guess for Aljo, it's like he's going to have a chance to shut people up when he gets back in the octagon. That's just the bottom line for him. And if the doctors didn't clear him, then I'm glad. If he's not, well, I guess Cody, you can jump in, but I guess what he was trying to sparring and he would go beyond 2 rounds and he was struggling a little bit, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, and he's been public. Like, I mean, not that, millions of people listen to his podcast, but he said that, like, he had surgery. He's tried to come back where, like, he's been honest about the recovery of that, where I think the typical recovery time for an NFL athlete for the same surgery is a year, 12 to 18 months or something. He was trying to fight in 6 months. So, like, you're fighting a guy in a cage with a neck. So I thought what he said on Ariel's show was pretty honest as far as, like, I'm the first guy to win a title by a DQ. Like, I don't want to be the first guy to be paralyzed in the octagon. Like, that goes through your head, when you're recovering from neck surgery.
Yeah. Well, in terms of the event that's going to be, I always thought Sandhagen was going to get his chance. I don't love him getting it off a loss, but whatever. You know what I mean? He certainly deserves it.
Yeah, especially it was just like perfect timing for him. I mean, Dillashaw's coming off an injury.
Right.
So you can't blame him for that. Honestly, it was a split decision. Like I said, that was one of those fights that could go either way, but they're both coming off losses. Like I said, that doesn't really matter to me. I just know that the two best guys they're two of the best guys in the division. So like, it's not like it's just random guys. Oh, they're trying to push Sean O'Malley and give him a random title shot. And it's like he hasn't beaten anybody good. Both these guys beat some of the guys in the division, so they both deserve a title shot regardless.
Did you see O'Malley's latest fight got released before we came on air today?
No. Yeah, against Paiva.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that fight for her. That Paiva's a beast, honestly. They're underestimating him. They're going to go in there thinking that O'Malley's going to walk through him. He's not. Paiva's a monster. He has a good chin. He's tall. He's lengthy. And he's a dog.
Yeah. See, you're already getting a bick on that fight. I like it.
I saw it. I was just sitting there like, it's not one of those fights where, O'Malley was saying, hey, I want easier fights for my pay grade, yada, yada, yada. Paiva's not that easy. It's the same thing it would have been like if he would have got Kelleher. I think Paiva's actually tougher than Kelleher because Paiva's long. He's lengthy. And he's not just going to let O'Malley punch him in the face like 200 times.
Well, I thought the most interesting part about that is like perfect for the maligned title reign of Peter Yan, right? Like gets a title shot with Jose Aldo, already a weird circumstance, wins the title, loses the title in a DQ, now is fighting Corey Sandhagen, both off of a loss. Like kind of just perfect for his story, right? Like that's just the Peter Yan story. But you said the word, Jason. You said Bully's Bix.
Last week, 8-5, 60% good. See, it was 59 forever. We got up over 60%. So UFC fight night, Gordon versus Selecki. Let's go, JJ. Sorry, I had to shout out Gordon. I know it's not Gordon versus Selecki, but before we get into Santos, Walker, and the fight card, let's talk about Jared Gordon, who's fighting this weekend, please, versus Joe Selecki. Glad he's back at 155. He's won 2 straight, featured prelim. Talk to me about your boy.
Excited for that fight, man. That's my boy right there. That's my dog. He's working hard. He's one of those guys where I know he puts the work in. He's not one of those guys that cheats or fakes it. We're texting. His weight cut's coming down pretty easily. I'm glad he's going up to 55. You've been following him on Instagram. He looks like in great shape, the best shape he's ever looked at. Going up to 55, a lot of muscle on him, looking good, training with some killers over there. I'm just excited for it. I want to see this Jared Gordon. Like I said, a lot of people don't understand how good he is. Now he got a little streak going, 2-fight winning streak. People are hyping up the Selecki guy. Selecki's thinking that he's this black belt and jiu-jitsu is going to walk through everybody, yada, yada, yada. But he's going to walk into a train right now.
Well, I'm excited. And, Jared started to be more active. It's not, I'm glad he's getting another fight. I'm glad to keep the train moving. We need another fight for you.
Sure.
But anyway, let's go, JG. All right. So we're going to do 3 picks. I guess we'll start with Alex Oliveira, Nico Price. Yes. This one should be fun in your welterweight division, huh? I'm not touching this from a betting standpoint. So Price, he's faced solid competition. He hasn't won since October of 19. Oliveira also lost 2 straight. Should be a fun one. Who gets off the schneid here, Mr. Muhammad?
Yeah, this is one of those fights where it's just going to be nothing but action. Both of them are going to throw wild at each other. Nico Price has actually been getting a little bit better, I think, every fight, like tightening up a little bit. But sometimes you need that crazy Nico that's just going to throw them random punches. Because those are the punches that are harder to see, the punches that you don't see are the punches that hurt the most. When you're sitting there trying to be so clean and you're not really a clean guy if you haven't learned that your whole life, go back to being crazy, Nico. Be that guy with 6 kids that you need to feed. Go out there, win this fight, knock out Alex Oliveira, and I think he'll do that.
I like it. I hear you. That's funny. All right, so co-main event, Kevin Holland, Kyle Dawkins, his brother at a big night. So Kevin Holland, as you may recall, fought 5 times in 2020, won all 5 fights, undefeated there, been defeated in 2021, lost both, facing a couple of beasts, Derek Brunson, Marvin Vettori, trying to get back in the win column here against Kyle Dawkins. So Holland's favored, both guys on the end, Kenny Florian, and they had a guy, Josh, I believe, sorry, I'm forgetting his last name. Both of them picked Dawkins, the underdog here.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting. I can't wait to watch Kevin Holland fight for a number of reasons. Who do you have here?
I think they're mistaking his brother, Kyle, with his brother. I'm like, his brother's a killer. Kyle's not bad, but he hasn't had a great run in the UFC. I feel like Holland, a lot of people are shooting him down just because he's lost 2 in a row. But like you said, look who he's lost to. He lost to guys that literally had to take him down like 10 times in their fights. And he had both of them hurt a couple times in their fights. He hurt Derek a couple times, threw some crazy punches. And, he's the guy that knocked out Jacare off his back. I don't think Kyle has the wrestling that's going to keep taking Kevin down. I think that Kevin's going to come back out here, get back in the winning column. And it's a good matchup for him. Coming off of two guys that are top 5, that are title contenders. Vettori literally fought for the title and went 5 rounds with the champ. Shows how tough he is. And Kevin Holland went 5 rounds with both of these guys, and they both had to hold him down. I don't think that Doc is going to be able to do that to Holland.
I agree. So we'll see. But to me and Kevin Holland, man, it's like you got to think from these last 2 fights, he's learned, no disrespect to Dawkins, but a significant step down in competition at this stage.
It's crazy how everybody was talking about him last year. You're on a 5-fight winning streak. You're the hottest prospect, and all of a sudden you lose 2, and they're not even bringing up that he's fighting this week. Like, I didn't even realize it, but
I know
that just shows how much a loss is. Like your everything could change. All the momentum could change with that loss. But if he comes out here, knocks out Dawkins, is back. All right, well, Holland's back.
Yep. Main event: Thiago Santos, Johnny Walker, light heavyweight division. So Santos. His last win was against Jan Blachowicz, believe it or not. Which is February of 2019. Performance of the night. Jan's won 5 straight. Now the champ. Santos lost 3 in a row. He's still favored here. So Johnny Walker certainly looks the part as a light heavyweight. 6'6", 82-inch fucking reach. Last win, first round knockout of Ryan Spann, but that's just over a year ago. He's a slight underdog here. Does Thiago sort of get back in the column here, or do you like the underdog, Johnny Walker?
I don't know, man. The last couple fights, Thiago hasn't looked the same. Ever since he fell in love with Yana, and they're having his love story, like he lost the killer instinct. I just don't think he has it anymore. He's not the hammer anymore. Now he's having a kid. They're going on freaking picnics. I don't know what Thiago's coming. But Johnny Walker is one of those guys. It's all about momentum in this game. And one guy's on a 3-fight losing streak. One guy knocked out Spann, and that's a big knockout, big name you finished. And, like I said, it's one of those things where both these guys are wild. You don't really see where their strikes come from, and those are the hardest punches, the hardest knockouts. I just think Thiago, his last couple fights, he hasn't looked that great, albeit to, go over to Shearer and freaking what's his face last. But I just think Johnny Walker's going to come out this one. He seems motivated. He's talking all the talk, saying, I want to be the biggest name in this division. I'm the next guy. So let's see what he actually does. I want to see what Walker does. I'm excited to see it. I hope he does come out, finish him, just so we have new blood in the division.
I agree with you, and I think and you need it. I think in that division a little bit. So
anyway, everybody's forgetting about it, and then that's that division too. Once the title fight's just up, who's next? They're looking at Yuri right now, and then Johnny Walker come in, sneak his way back up there too.
It can happen. Well, I think that's it for us tonight. So just in terms of the merch that's out there, make sure you check out Remember the Shop, right? Remember the name, Remember the Shop, and Anik Florian Podcast if you want some Remember the Name. Remember the show gear, right? What do you got?
And you're rocking one more sleep. Get your boy down.
One more sleep for my boy. Yeah, one more sleep, baby. So, Cody, what is it? A fanny pack that we got for Remember the Show? Is that like the top seller? Not just a fanny, but I know I got the T-shirt.
Yeah, the
speaking of fanny pack, let's talk about freaking that article on Joe Rogan. These guys like literally piss me off. Dude, they want to just it's all clickbait.
Let's talk about it.
What?
It's so stupid.
Did you not see it? No, Jay. So
what about what he about Nick? Oh, is this not about what he thought about Nick Diaz? Was it about vaccinations or something?
No. So
no, go ahead, Cody.
It was just an article that was written pretty much like Rogan's not invested anymore. Like the UFC should just get rid of him. Like he should just quit. Like while the getting's good. And then it went on to say like the commentary team like all resents him. Like all this stuff. Like the production team hates working with him. Like nobody likes that he's around because he makes so much money. And I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to that is telling you that? Because I've literally never heard a bad word about Joe Rogan ever.
No, I mean, there's so much to say to that. And it's the first time I'm hearing it. But like John even said on the broadcast this week, Rogan calls them all like professional fans. It's like, that's what it is. That you know what I mean? Like go they got enough of those commentator cams. Just go watch those and tell me if you think. And look, that's just couldn't be further from the truth. I don't know what else to say. It's like
it's literally a guy that literally write articles and they're just excited because they want people just to say something about it. But you're disrespecting Joe Rogan, who's literally been in there from the start, hyped it up so much, brings up fighters on his podcast who have freaking millions and millions of viewers, and he doesn't have to just because he loves the sport so much. And trying to say literally Daniel Cormier, Michael Bisping, Paul Felder, all these guys came to his defense. Like, what are you talking about? We never said anything bad about Joe Rogan at all. Like, all these guys love Joe Rogan. So the fact that this guy would literally write an article saying all these dumb things and saying that he got it from inside sources that are commentators and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, people are just so dumb. Will do anything for attention nowadays.
Yeah. Well, and you can be sure Joe Rogan doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he doesn't give a fuck about.
That's exactly what the jealousy comes from. Is like people are so they need to get money off their clickbait headlines, and Joe can say literally whatever he wants, show up when he wants, and still be one of the top MMA commentators in the game. And like Bully said, back in the 2000s when he was on Fear Factor in 10 million homes, way more people knew about Joe Rogan than knew about the UFC. So like, don't get it twisted how much Joe Rogan has done for the sport. Like, he's earned his right to do what, to not fly internationally to Brazil to do a 4 a.m. show. Like, he's earned that right.
Of course, he does whatever he wants. But also with him, it's like this MMA is one lane of a very amazing life that he's living. So, and he loves everything about mixed martial arts. I don't even know if I would have read the article if I saw a headline, because it's such a joke.
Yeah, but I had read it just because I was sitting
I hear you.
Daniel Cormier and all these guys responding to it. I'm like, what are these guys even giving this guy any attention right now? And then I was like, you know what, let me read it. And I was just like, bro, this is a joke. Like, literally a moron.
I hear you. And look, the bottom line is, this week I was pretty surprised because it's a pay-per-view. I assumed Rogan was going to be there. You know what I mean? And it's like you talk about the energy of the Diaz's in the building. For Joe Rogan is the blood of the UFC. So it's like him in the building. No disrespect to any of all the guys. I think everyone does a great job. All the color guys, the play-by-play guy, whatever. But no, but Rogan, to me, it's like there is a level that he raises the level when he's there in terms. It's a bigger event when Rogan's in the building. Period.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll just give Joe a shout out. I don't even want to say that other loser's name. So, forget that loser. Don't read that article. The article sucked.
Exactly. Maybe next Thursday you can announce a fight for yourself before the calendar turns to 2022. Okay?
Let's hope so.
That'll be nice. Thank you all for joining us. Remember the show. We'll see you next Thursday night. Have a good night. Later.
Peace.